people criticizing this young lady in her comment section, right? About the fact that she's dancing around with the weapon, brandishing the weapon. Some even says she's inviting danger, right? And just because you got it on you don't mean you know how to use it safely, right? But on this same app, all the social media apps, we see women being attacked, right? We just seen a video where a guy tried to snatch a woman up and the men jumped in and kicked his ass as they should. Now, gun ownership look different on a lot of people. We old school, you don't never point the gun at yourself. Always treat it like it's loaded. It depends on when you came in contact with guns. This is a different generation. This is the TikTok generation. This is the social media generation. They dance. I personally don't have a problem with it. She at the gas station, she pumping her gas. Just because in this one moment she leaned her phone up against something, probably the trash can or whatever, with the window cleaner joint on it, and decided to dance around because she felt good, she felt safe. She didn't have to worry. Regardless of what the situation is, she felt safe. So I honestly don't have a problem with her dancing around making a video. What I will say is just be careful of your surroundings because one thing about having a weapon, somebody could take the weapon from you, right? And you just got to be aware. You can't let nobody close the distance because that could take somebody take the gun out your hand. You got to be able to get to it. You need to just be paying attention. And then you don't know who watching you, you know, while you're dancing around. You just got to be careful and just practice gun safety. Me personally, I can't legally own a firearm. The last time I used a firearm, I went to prison. That's neither here nor there. But hopefully I'll get that right back one day. And when I do, I would treat it responsibly, right? But what I do know about guns, and maybe she got a little bit of this, is gun energy. People act different when they got that firearm on them, right? We move different, chest out. You know what I'm saying? A lot of situations we can avoid that we don't. And a lot of times we create situations out of nothing unnecessarily because we got the gun. We looking over our shoulders. You know what I mean? We act in a certain type of way. We inviting trouble to a certain degree, right? I wish a nigga would type energy. And it all depends on who got the weapon, right? All I would suggest is that, you know, just don't let nobody know you got it on you. She's in the little corner right there. Nobody see her, hopefully. But just don't put yourself in a situation where the wolves gonna see you, and because you're a woman and you got that weapon, some unarmed people will try you. I remember seeing the video. It was a police officer in New York. She was fighting with a dude. And I'm gonna try to throw the video in there if I can find it. But she wrestling with the dude, right? And he trying to take the gun. And she shoots him. Bang. Right? And she ended up shooting him a couple of more times and he ended up passing away or whatever. And that's because he saw an opportunity. He wasn't armed and he thought he could overpower this female officer and he ended up losing his life. You know what I mean? And a lot of times in these situations, you gotta understand the self-defense laws in whatever state you live in. I mean, every state is not a stand your ground state. You have the right to retreat. You know what I mean? It's like somebody got to basically be about the next to killing you before you could squeeze that trigger. And at the same time, while I don't really have a problem with the TikTok generation, but what I'm saying is from being out in the streets and one of them wolves see you, you know, somebody would definitely try you. You know what I mean? So you just gotta be careful. I like the fact that we all here expressing our Second Amendment rights. And that's great. And, I'm pretty sure if you got your concealed carry, whatever whoever your instructor was went over the gun laws, self defense, and stuff like that. Just don't put yourself in a situation where you have to use it and not because somebody's trying to rob you, somebody try to take it from you. Because in a lot of senses, it can be a false sense of security, especially if you know somebody else got one and you can't get to yours first. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to be careful. You know what I mean? So women and men just be vigilant. You know what I mean? I think to a certain degree, everybody carrying makes everybody safe. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people out here carrying firearms. I think moving forward for like a lot of my generation and Generation Z, getting weapons is how do it look on us? How do we carry it? How do we, in the age of, the police shooting people and all kinds of stuff like that, we just got to move a certain type of way. We gotta handle our guns a certain type of way. Some of us still carrying the guns like back in the day when we used to carry illegal guns. You know what I mean? We just gotta just I don't necessarily feel like we need to be like anybody else. Like I said, I don't have no problem with this, but we just gotta be aware of our surroundings. And I don't even know if technically this is her brandishing a weapon, and depending on what state she in, she probably could get in trouble. You know what I mean? But I just think, hopefully, to be honest with you, I hope more women follow suit and do this and get weapons. I'm tired of I remember seeing the one chick get hit with a skateboard because she didn't want to talk to the dude. I seen another video and I'ma post it up here. A chick sitting on her motorcycle, whatever, right? And the dude tried to talk to her and he threw water on her. And she wasn't really trying to holler. She was just sitting on her bike minding her business. Now, that situation where you pull a weapon out, no, but I'm gonna say this. Who knows how far that man was willing to escalate the situation. We really do got predators out there. Not all men are predators, but they're seasoned in the population of men. You know what I mean? And I don't know, like I really don't have a problem with this. People just saying, you know, carrying guns is for mature adults and all that. Whatever. We send kids in the military at 18 to go die. Just because she's having fun and she feels safe and that's her energy, it doesn't make her immature. She's sitting there with her vehicle, right? Let's just talk about maturity, right? We don't know exactly how old this young lady is, but I'm gonna give her no older than 25, right? She's sitting there with a vehicle. She's at the gas station late night, according to her, and she's pumping gas in her vehicle, right? So that means she has a license, a driver's license. She probably works somewhere. She got a car payment. She has car insurance. That means she has employment and probably a place to stay, right? Probably her own place to stay, right? So when we sit here and talk about maturity, because somebody's dancing and having a good time or feeling secure or comfortable in their skin, and that's the way they choose to live their life, that don't necessarily equal um immaturity. She may be a college student, who knows? Just because you looking at this 15-second clip, that don't necessarily mean um she's immature, according to the comment. That's me responding to the comments on my personal feelings on this. But I just don't think I think you just gotta be careful. Remember that a man, even with that weapon, will still try you. So you just always gotta keep your head on the swivel and pay attention and watch your surroundings. And just be careful, man. Just yeah, I feel you. Hey, got that hammer. Gun energy. Just respect the weapon. I'm pretty sure I don't need to tell you that. Um, be careful. Keep your head on a swivel, and don't let nobody be able to close the gap here, take that gun from you. You know what I mean? Ladies, I think all women should follow suit. All of y'all go get y'all hammers. Get them permits, man.